For years, Gucci Mane and Pooh Shiesty were the definition of loyalty in the rap game. Mentor and protege, family over everything, 10-17 till the wheels fall off.
Come on, bro, you gotta get in with me, man. So look at your round. Look at your round now.
But now a confrontational clip is going viral. And what's being said is telling a very different story.
Antagonized got it all because he your wife. Then you dropped them niggas and killed Pooh and not got it and took Pooh Shiesty from you.
Robbed his wife, Pooh switching sides. Something ain't adding up. And we're about to break all of it down. New heated footage of Pooh Shiesty has just gone viral, and what he's saying has the entire hip-hop world in a frenzy. In this explosive footage, Pooh is visibly emotional, shouting out his dead homies, his locked-up brothers, and making it clear that he's tired of holding this shit in.
Going on, see on Motor Enterprise. Get with it or get one of you. Pooh, like I said, nigga. Never forget about K. Carbon. She held this down, nigga.
But here's where it gets crazier. This footage dropped right as Hernandez Govan went public with bombshell allegations that Gucci Mane was robbed of his wedding ring and his watch following a heated confrontation with Pooh. The timing is not a coincidence, and by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why. Hernandez Govan, who was acquitted in connection with the Young Dolph murder trial and has emerged as one of the most outspoken and fearless voices in Memphis hip-hop circles, has been absolutely relentless in his public statements about what he claims is really happening behind the scenes between Gucci Mane, Pooh Shiesty, and Yo Gotti. Unlike other commentators who tiptoe around allegations or hide behind anonymous sources, Govan has put his face and his name directly on these claims, addressing Gucci Mane personally in videos that have accumulated hundreds of thousands of views across social media platforms. And he's not holding anything back whatsoever. In a series of viral videos that have been spreading across every platform imaginable, Govan has laid out explosive allegations that connect this robbery situation to a much deeper, much more personal history that dates back well over a decade and involves betrayals that most people in the industry have only whispered about until now.
Hey, I don't know who need to hear this, man, but no, I'm lying. Hey, Gucci Mane, LaFleur, you went and signed 100 from Memphis, Tennessee to try to antagonize Gotti all because he...
According to Govan's account, the entire situation with Pooh Shiesty and the Memphis artist that Gucci Mane has been signing to 10-17 Records was never really about recognizing talent or building careers. It was allegedly a calculated strategy designed to antagonize Yo Gotti by scooping up rising stars from Gotti's hometown before CMG could get to them. But Govan claims the motivation behind this strategy goes far beyond typical music industry competition. He's alleging that the real source of the Gucci-Gotti beef is deeply personal, involving Gucci's wife, Keishia Kaware.
Antagonized Gotti all because he your wife. Then you dropped them and killed Pooh and not got it and took Pooh Shiesty from you.
That allegation that Yo Gotti allegedly had an affair with Gucci's wife is the claim that Govan says explains everything about why this beef has persisted for so long, while Gucci has managed to squash conflicts with almost everyone else from that era of his life. Think about it. Gucci patched things up with Jeezy after their legendary feud. He's moved past issues with numerous other artists and industry figures. But Yo Gotti remains an exception. According to Govan's framing, the reason is simple. Some betrayals are simply unforgivable, and an affair with your wife falls into that category.
It's whack 100, and because I know whack with Gucci. And the only reason why I do it for whack, because I know he'll do it for me. But other than that...
But Govan didn't stop at exposing the alleged motivation behind Gucci's Memphis signings. He went significantly further, claiming that there's additional information about recent events involving Gucci that hasn't fully emerged in public yet. information that he's promising to release in the near future as this situation continues to develop. The implication is unmistakably clear. The robbery allegations that have been circulating through hip-hop media channels and spreading like wildfire across social media are just the tip of a much larger iceberg that's about to surface.
And we know about the other little that just happened too. Yeah, we're gonna run that later on though, Gucci.
According to multiple reports that have been spreading across social media platforms and hip-hop news outlets, Gucci Mane was allegedly robbed of his wedding ring and his watch following a heated studio confrontation with Pooh Shiesty. The confrontation reportedly stemmed from unresolved contract disputes, collaboration refusals, creative differences, and all of the accumulated grievances that had been building between them for years, while Pooh sat in federal prison and watched how his situation was being handled from behind bars. Pooh reportedly left the studio first, got in his car, and departed the scene without any knowledge of what was about to transpire. Shortly after his departure, Gucci was allegedly confronted and relieved of his jewelry in what sources have described as a Suga Knight-style theft, a reference to the infamous incidents involving the legendary Death Row Records executive. The robbery reportedly did not take place in Atlanta, Gucci's home turf, where he would presumably have the most security and protection, which raises extremely serious questions about how one of the most legendary and well-connected figures in Southern trap music ended up in such a vulnerable position outside of his usual environment. Sources have been very careful to specify that Pooh Shiesty himself was not directly involved in the actual robbery and reportedly had no knowledge of what was going to happen. But the timing of the incident, occurring immediately after their heated confrontation about the deteriorating business relationship, has led to rampant speculation about potential connections between the theft and the ongoing tension between the two camps. What confirms that this situation has reached a point of no return is the fact that, as a result of everything that has transpired, Pooh Shiesty is no longer signed to 1017 Records. The contract has been terminated. The partnership that produced platinum records and seemed destined to dominate the Southern rap landscape for years to come is officially finished. This is particularly significant when you consider that back in October 2024, Gucci Mane made headlines by announcing he was releasing almost all of his artists from 1017, but explicitly named Pooh Shiesty as one of only 2 artists he intended to keep.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Listen, I wanted to make this announcement on 1017 yesterday, but I just seen like my statement, my P&L with all my artists. It's almost like a whole bunch of shakeup and it's a whole show in the industry right now, but
Gucci explained at the time that after reviewing his profit and loss statements, he determined that keeping the full roster wasn't financially viable anymore. But Pooh Shiesty was supposed to be protected. He was supposed to be the cornerstone of what 1017 was building going forward. So the question becomes, what happened between October 2024 and now that caused even that protected relationship to collapse completely? When people reportedly reached out to Hernandez Govan asking him to remove his viral videos attacking Gucci, his response demonstrated exactly why he's become such a central figure in this drama. He made it clear that he's not backing down from anything he said.
And you got a better chance of marrying Oprah Winfrey before I take it down, man. I wouldn't give a where you was from. South Memphis, North Memphis, Orange Mound, Atlanta, Memphis, Oregon.
Govan explained that the only person who could potentially convince him to remove the content would be Wack 100, and only because of their personal relationship, not because of any pressure from Gucci's camp. His defiance underscores how serious these allegations are and suggests more revelations may be coming. According to Govan's framing, Pooh Shiesty leaving 1017 represents the ultimate humiliation for Gucci Mane. First came the alleged affair between Yo Gotti and Keshia Ka-Oyer, and now comes the loss of Gucci's biggest commercial success to his rival's sphere of influence. The speculation that Pooh might sign with CMG would complete what Govan portrays as a total reversal. The chess pieces Gucci thought he was collecting from Memphis have switched sides entirely. Now that we've established what Hernandez Govan is alleging and broken down the explosive claims that have the streets talking from Memphis to Atlanta, We need to walk back through history to understand how this relationship deteriorated to robbery allegations and contract terminations. Because this situation didn't emerge overnight. The damage that led to everything we're witnessing now was accumulated over years, and understanding the full scope requires going back to when Gucci Mane and Pooh Shiesty first joined forces. In 2020, everything about this partnership appeared destined for greatness. Gucci Mane, the legendary Atlanta trap pioneer who had survived prison sentences, label drama, and personal demons, spotted Pooh Shiesty through his independent releases. Tracks like Hell Night, featuring Big 30, were generating serious street buzz and demonstrating raw talent with authentic street credibility. Gucci signed Pooh to 1017 Records and immediately positioned him as the next flagship artist, the heir apparent to everything Gucci had built. The chemistry between mentor and protege seemed undeniable, and the early days reflected genuine investment and mutual respect.
Come on, bro, you gotta get in with me, man. So look at your rim. Look at your rim now.
Get your phone up.
Put my phone lit.
That footage captures the energy that used to define their relationship. For Pooh's birthday, Gucci blessed him with a slime green Jeep Trackhawk featuring custom 1017 rims, a gift that left Pooh visibly speechless and demonstrated what appeared to be genuine love and significant financial investment in his career and well-being.
We just wrote the paper all this bit. Listen, man, this bitch got a long certain room too. My got two. Oh yeah, this one.
The commercial results matched the apparent personal bond. Pooh's debut mixtape Shiesty Season dropped in 2021 and debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200, moving over 62,000 equivalent units in its first week. His single Back in Blood, featuring Lil Durk, peaked at number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100 and achieved multi-platinum certification. He earned BET Hip Hop Award nominations, landed on XXL's freshman class, and was spotlighted everywhere as one of the brightest emerging stars in Southern rap. The 1017 machine was functioning exactly as designed, but then came the legal troubles that would test the strength of this partnership in ways nobody anticipated. Following shooting incidents in Florida in 2020 and 2021, Pooh pleaded guilty to federal firearm conspiracy charges in 2022 and received a 63-month sentence. Just like that, one of the hottest careers in hip-hop was put on hold, and Pooh Shiesty found a chush, himself sitting in federal prison while his music continued streaming and generating revenue for the label. During his incarceration, Gucci made some public statements about supporting his artist. He criticized the conditions at the Federal Correctional Institution Pollock, where Pooh was being held. On the surface, it appeared that Gucci was holding his artist down, but according to what Pooh has shared since his release, the reality behind the scenes painted a very different picture of how much support actually materialized when cameras weren't rolling. When Pooh Shiesty finally walked out of federal prison on October 6, 2025, after serving approximately 3 years with good behavior, he claims the welcome he received exposed the truth about who genuinely cared about him. According to his public statements, "When I was released, only 2 people showed up for me, my dad and my cameraman. Nobody else came. No one from my label pulled up, no rappers, no friends, nobody from my crew." Consider what that means in context. This artist had generated platinum records for 1017. His music had been streaming millions of times throughout his entire incarceration, creating continuous revenue for the label while he sat in a cell, unable to benefit from his own success. And when he finally came home, ready to rebuild his life and career, 2 people, his father and his cameraman. The silence from everyone else spoke volumes. But the perceived abandonment during and after prison wasn't even the deepest cut in this situation. The wound that sources say truly poisoned this relationship beyond any possibility of repair. The betrayal that Pooh Shiesty allegedly will never forgive, regardless of any apologies or explanations offered, connects to the tragic death of Big Scar in December 2022. Big Scar, another incredibly talented Memphis artist signed to 1017 Records, was someone Pooh reportedly considered like family, a little brother figure who represented the next generation of Memphis talent coming up through the 1017 system. When Scar passed away from an accidental overdose at just 22 years old, with his entire career still ahead of him, Pooh was locked up in federal prison hundreds of miles away, unable to attend the funeral, unable to be there for Scar's grieving family, and unable to properly process his own grief alongside the people who understood what that loss meant. According to reports that have been circulating through hip-hop media and confirmed by multiple sources close to the situation, the way Gucci Mane allegedly handled Big Scar's death created wounds that would never heal regardless of time or circumstances. Big Scar's family has made extremely serious allegations about 1017's response to the tragedy that paint a devastating picture of misplaced priorities. They claim that Gucci contacted them after Scar's death, not primarily to offer heartfelt condolences, comprehensive financial support, or genuine assistance during their time of unimaginable grief, but to request the return of a 1017 chain that their son had earned through his work, his loyalty, and his contributions to the label's success. According to the family, Gucci contributed only $10,000 toward funeral costs, which reportedly covered flowers and mausoleum placement, while they had to figure out everything else themselves. And when they reached out seeking additional help to properly honor their son, they claimed they were blocked. The family's response was emotional and direct. Big Scar had earned that chain, and Gucci would never get it back. For Pooh Shiesty, learning about this alleged disrespect while incarcerated, unable to do anything about it, created damage that couldn't be repaired. According to sources close to the situation, this is the betrayal that fundamentally shifted how Pooh viewed his relationship with Gucci Mane and 1017 Records. Some actions, regardless of any business justification, cross lines that can never be uncrossed. And this brings us back to Hernandez Govan's core allegation about why Gucci was signing Memphis artists in the first place. According to Govan and other sources who have discussed this dynamic, the aggressive recruitment of talent from Memphis was never purely about recognizing skill or building careers. It was allegedly a calculated strategy to antagonize Yo Gotti by taking rising stars from his hometown before CMG could develop them.
I think whoever that person is you're talking about is right to a certain extent because, for him to have it's talent all over the world. And he had hella interest in the artists here, in Memphis.
Think about what that means for Pooh Shiesty's entire career trajectory at 1017. If these allegations hold truth, he wasn't signed primarily because Gucci believed in building something meaningful together. He was signed as a chess piece in a personal vendetta, a tool to create problems for Gucci's rival without Gucci having to engage directly. The moment that purpose was served, was there ever genuine commitment to Pooh's long-term success?
And it's like, from Gucci's perspective, it's like if he could spend $20K, $30K, whatever it might be to sign an artist and then basically create like a permanent thorn in the side of a major rap.
The source of the Gucci-Gotti beef itself reportedly extends far beyond music industry competition. According to claims that Hernandez Govan has been amplifying and which have been discussed in various interviews over the years, the real reason this rivalry has persisted while others have been resolved is the alleged affair between Yo Gotti and Keisha Kawer.
Would you be willing to squash some beef with somebody who had with your wife? Maybe while you was in prison, I don't know when it was or whatever.
Oh, Lord.
This allegation completely reframes the Pooh Shiesty situation. If he was signed as part of a strategy rooted in personal revenge over an alleged affair, and now he's leaving 1017 with speculation that he might join CMG, then the strategic gambit has backfired spectacularly. The chess piece has switched allegiances. The antagonism strategy produced the opposite of its intended result.
Shiesty?
Pooh Shiesty.
Yeah, for sure Shiesty. Yeah, for sure Shiesty. Yeah, you don't even have to mention Shiesty's name.
That was like the greatest success of his current 1017,
The irony is devastating. Pooh Shiesty became far more successful than anyone could have anticipated. The greatest success of Gucci's current 1017 roster. And now that success is walking out the door. We've covered the robbery allegations that Hernandez Govan has been amplifying across social media. We've walked back through the history that explains how this mentor-protege relationship deteriorated from custom Trackhawk celebrations to terminated contracts and theft accusations. Now we arrive at the footage of Pooh Shiesty himself, the heated clip that has been spreading across every platform and revealing exactly where he stands as this situation continues to escalate. This footage shows Pooh in a car, delivering an intense, unfiltered statement that leaves absolutely no room for misinterpretation. He's not delivering calculated bars for a diss track. He's not performing for promotional purposes. This is raw, unfiltered emotion from someone who has clearly reached a breaking point with how he's been treated.
Going on, see on Motor Enterprise, get with it or gift. Want one of you. Like I said, never forget about K-Pod, how she held this down.
What's immediately striking about this footage is that Pooh isn't directly naming Gucci Mane or 1017 Records. Instead, he's doing something far more powerful. He's honoring the people who actually held him down during his darkest times. The names he's calling out are friends, fallen associates, and loyal supporters who showed genuine love when the industry allegedly turned its back on him.
Never forget about Baby Size. Don't never forget about Wop. Don't ever forget about Wop Tobin. Wah. Shake my head on this situation. You know what I'm saying? My mind so up.
The emotional weight in Pooh's voice throughout this footage is unmistakable. You can hear years of accumulated grief, frustration, and perceived betrayal pouring out in real time. He's honoring the dead. He's acknowledging the incarcerated. He's making it absolutely clear where his loyalty lies, and by pointed omission, where it does not. The footage shifts from honoring the fallen to issuing a direct warning to anyone who might be considering testing him. The message leaves zero room for misunderstanding about where Pooh Shiesty stands and what he's prepared to do if pushed.
This what really going on. See on Motor Enterprise, get with it or gift. One of you niggas. Put one of you up, man. For real. I'm tired of holding this in, man. I'm tired, man.
When Pooh says he's tired of holding this shit in, you're hearing years of accumulated frustration finally reaching a breaking point. All of the perceived betrayals, the lack of genuine support during and after prison, the alleged disrespect surrounding Big Scar's death, the lowball contract offers, the industry people who vanished when he needed them, but suddenly reappeared once he was free and valuable again. Everything that's been building up has finally boiled over.
Yeah, man, I'm tired, man. Can't hold this shit in too long, man. This shit real. This shit what I believe. This shit what I support. It's what I condone. This shit what I preach and practice.
One of the most powerful moments in this viral footage comes when Pooh Shiesty directly challenges anyone watching to examine the evidence themselves. In an industry where beefs are often manufactured for attention and relationships are frequently performative, Pooh is essentially saying, "Don't take my word for it. Go verify."
We say it's 20 dead, 50 locked up when you watch our video. Really that. You ain't playing with you. Go watch our video. Go check.
That statement, 20 dead, 50 locked up, isn't a lyric crafted for impact or a boast designed to build street credibility. It's a grim accounting of the actual human cost behind the music he makes. Pooh is pointing to the visual documentation of his life and stating that if you examine those music videos and social media posts closely, you'll find that many of the people standing alongside him are no longer here. They're either deceased or incarcerated. This isn't manufactured imagery. This is documented reality. This context explains why the perceived betrayal by his label cuts so deeply. When you've lost that many people to death and the prison system, the ones who remain are supposed to be the people you can count on without question. According to Pooh's public statements, that loyalty wasn't reciprocated when he needed it most.
Go watch our video. Go check it, kid. Check if I'm lying or not. Watch any one of our old videos and see if the dead are locked up in the background, kid. Watch everybody in the back.
That challenge is Pooh daring anyone to verify his claims. and knowing full well that the evidence supports everything he's saying. With his 10/17 contract officially terminated and the entire music industry watching his every move with intense anticipation, speculation is running absolutely wild about where Pooh Shiesty will land next and what his future holds. The most obvious destination, given everything we've discussed about the Gucci-Gotti rivalry and Hernandez-Govan's framing of this situation, would be Yo Gotti's CMG label. The symbolic weight of that potential move, Gucci's biggest commercial success joining his longtime rivals roster, would represent the ultimate reversal in this long-running beef and completely validate everything Hernandez-Govan has been claiming about how this situation would unfold. It would be the final piece of humiliation in Govan's narrative. First the alleged affair, then the failed antagonism strategy, and finally losing your star artist to the very person you were trying to hurt. But some industry observers and people who genuinely have Pooh's best interests at heart are advising him to take his time before committing to any new label arrangement. The numbers actually support a completely independent approach, at least initially while he assesses his options and negotiates from a position of maximum strength. His comeback single FDO debuted at number 12 on the Billboard Hot 100, his highest charting solo effort in his entire career. The track demonstrated unequivocally that his fanbase remained fiercely loyal throughout his entire incarceration, streaming his music, wearing his merchandise, and advocating for his release. Every single day he was locked up, with streams performing strongly across all platforms, major festival bookings already lined up for 2026, and universal attention focused on his every move and statement. Pooh Shiesty is in a position of leverage and strength that very few artists enjoy when exiting a label situation under contentious circumstances. What this entire situation reveals, the robbery allegations, the contract termination, the Big Scar controversy, Govan's explosive claims about Memphis signings and decade-old betrayals, and the heated viral footage, is a cautionary tale about the true nature of relationships in the music industry. The family rhetoric that labels market so aggressively can disappear the moment business interests diverge. The mentor-protege bonds that seem solid during successful periods can collapse under legal troubles, financial disputes, and questions about whether loyalty was ever reciprocal. For artists watching this unfold, the lesson is stark and unavoidable. Read contracts carefully, maintain relationships outside business arrangements, and never assume commercial success guarantees loyalty when things get tough. Pooh generated platinum records for 10/17. He made the millions. He sat in federal prison while his music generated income for the label. And according to his account, none of that ensured they would hold him down when the spotlight faded and he needed real support. The streets are watching every single development unfold in real time right now. The industry is watching closely and taking notes. Hernandez-Govan is promising more explosive revelations are coming soon. And Pooh Shiesty has made his position absolutely clear. The brotherhood is finished. Trust has been completely shattered, and there's no path back.